I get a desperate call from your wife. I think it was Friday morning, early, like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Adam's dying. Adam's dying.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I woke up at 5 a.m. yakking big time. And I mean, like, you're a passionate man, Drew.
Yeah.
I'm a passionate yacker.
Yeah.
Like, I throw up
Your wife.
I throw up like I'm yelling at somebody in traffic, just... You know what it reminded me of my poor wife looking at me like...
crying.
Once in a while, my cat would bring up a fur ball.
Uh-huh.
You know, as a kid, like that weird fur ball, the thing a cat does. And you're like, don't bring it up here. I'm going to carry you outside. But is there anything I can do? Like, you want to shoot him, really. Just, like, take him down. Like, I'm sure if she had a pistol, she would have put a bullet in me. I was like, convulsing into the sink. And it was
She was crying. She was scared.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was violently vomiting about 5 a.m. and then whatever, and I just started to, chills and sweats, and I just kept thinking about me laugh. All that was going on in my mind was me laughing when you were telling me to take the flu shot, and I was going, I don't need any flu shot.
I never get never.
Yeah. Now what? Now would that flu shot have stopped this?
It might have. It might have helped anyway. It might have made it less
violent yakking
next year.
And then and let me tell you I'll tell you about my wife. She so now I'm in bed. She gets up. She's on the phone with Drew. God bless her. Drew says, now let's talk about what to do with the flu, Drew.
Yeah.
You want to drink some Gatorade, right?
Yeah, it wasn't really
why
the flu.
Gatorade?
Well, you got to replace.
The flu? What did I have?
You had some sort of viral illness, but it probably a gastroenteritis. It's called a viral gastroenteritis. You want to replace fluids. When your fever goes up, you lose fluids rapidly. When you have diarrhea, you lose fluids. When you vomit, obviously, you're losing fluids. So you want to make sure you replace that. Yeah.
Right.
When you keep your volume up, you feel better.
Right.
It
was funny. It was funny about fluids was my wife spoke to Drew, and she said, I got this hernia thing going on, too. And she said, could this be the hernia? Drew wants to know if it's the hernia thing. And my hernia was, like, feeling weird the night before. I didn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
And I thought, oh, Christ, maybe this is what's going on. Maybe my hernia's pushing through my gut, and this is why I'm vomiting all over the place.
It twists off. It twists off, and then the bowel dies.
Right.
And you vomit and get abdominal pain.
So So do I have the flu, or is my hernia going to explode?
Well, that's what I was asking her, and apparently you had no abdominal pain other than the retching.
I didn't have anything, and then an hour later I let a nice load of diarrhea go, and I thought, oh, thank Christ. Never been happier for some diarrhea. I was like, oh, praise the Lord. Look at that. It's a mess. It's not the hernia.
Oh, man.
So anyway,
yeah,
I had something going at about, and why, by the way, why this stuff needs to hit at 5 a.m. for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be the whole, it just wouldn't be a horrible, it's like the earthquake. The earthquake hit at 5 a.m.,
Right.
It's so, not only, first off, you have the sort of the terror of the situation, and then you have the whole disorientation part. Like, what's going on? Turn on the light. Oh, my God, what's happening? Whoever needs to take care of you is fast asleep,
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on. Why 5 a.m.? Why not 5 p.m.? Where I could go like, listen, I'm not feeling so good, and I could head up, and people would be dressed and normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
have
prepare
to have,
for
like, the boner and the sweatpants and stumbling around through the dark and, trying to find the bathroom.
Yeah, it's so miserable.
So then it was like, and this is, by the way, the bad sign is when you get the trash can and put it by the bed. That's that was the next move. Gonna need the trash can, and just yakking into that Pottery Barn bathroom trash can for the next few hours. Drew called. Right. Drew took very good care of me. Kept calling. So now, what do you do, Drew? You should drink Gatorade. Why Gatorade?
That's good. It's not just water then. You see, you're replacing fluid, water plus electrolytes.
All right. So, and what
So
about
if you,
that, like,
if you end up just replacing water, you can actually alter the sodium balance in your system and have too much free water circulating around.
so you're crapping out, you're sweating out, and you're yakking out too many
That's
fluids, and you
That's
need to
right.
put fluid back, and that fluid needs to not just be H2O.
Right.
Okay.
Wait, show us
Now,
a minute. And then
what kind of juice? Is so, like, what about like orange juice? Too acidic for the stomach? Or?
yeah, if you're vomiting, that's not the good thing. You just even water can be a little tough sometimes, but you want to get water with something in it, and then slowly add the juice and things like that. Get cranberry juice, easy juices, and then take the Tylenol when your fever's going up. When you're chilling, that's how your body drives the temperature up. It's not that you're actually cold. It's your body is generating heat through the chills, and that's what's driving the temperature up. When you sweat, your body's trying to cool itself down, and that's when the temperature's on its way back down.
And what about eating?
Well, if you're vomiting, you ought to
It's hard.
stop vomiting. Yeah, you ought to stop vomiting for a couple of hours.
No, but here's the whole thing. If you're vomiting,
Yeah.
and if you're vomiting, are you going to want to vomit even if there's nothing in your stomach?
Possibly.
But if you put something in your stomach, you're really going to want to vomit, right?
That's right.
I mean, you're essentially giving yourself ammunition.
Well, you have an inflamed system going there, right? And it's going to get worse when you load something on it.
Right, so you should not try to eat a saltine or anything like that.
No, I mean, eventually, within a couple of hours. If you have no vomit for a couple of hours, then it's game on.
All right.
And then there's another crazy idea people have is that everything I put in my stomach comes out my rear end as diarrhea. No, it takes hours and hours for things to get out of your stomach.
Really?
But when you put when you
I
put
was
something
getting stuff back out of my mouth though in record time.
well, that's different. But when you put something in your stomach, it generates something called the gastrocolic reflex. So it stimulates your rectum to release things. Whatever was down there gets pushed through. Not what goes in your stomach is going through. You'll see that in about 12 to 24 hours.
Right. You knock over a domino, but the last one that falls out of your ass is not the one you first knocked over.
Thank you.
So we should go on tour together.
It's good times.
So all right. So you want to, and then what do you want to eat when you finally start eating?
Starchy foods, like
starchy
you said, saltine.
foods.
Yeah.
But no, you don't want like protein. Too tough to digest.
No. You want well cooked things like soup or starch. Mm-hmm. Okay. I know you're obsessed about you recovering from viral illness right now, but let's get to the call, shall we?
No, you know what? I don't
You've
care
been
about.
sick forever.
I don't care about me. I don't care about me. But you know what? I just realized that it just happened to me that people get sick and they're not sure what to do, and it's like the whole Tylenol thing. It's like, oh, is that going to be hard on my stomach? Should I be taking the Tylenol when my stomach's upset? You should be taking it. I
should be taking Tylenol, not Advil or aspirin, because that is hard on your stomach.
Well, see, there you go.
There you go.
I'm just saying, a lot of people listening want to. So, I mean, the beats are the Gatorade and the Tylenol, really, when you got that crazy fever, right?
That's what it boils down to.
And
there was some data every 4 hours. There was some data that came out recently about antibiotics and breast cancer. That the more antibiotics you use, the higher your risk of breast cancer in women. So there's even now, beyond the fact that you're also polluting the environment now with resistant organisms if you use a lot of antibiotic, there's now personal and good reason not to take a lot of antibiotics, perhaps.
All right. Well, anyway, just to quiet down, finish up my story. I felt a little better, thanks to Dr. Drew, and then started yakking again into the afternoon and evening, and then sweat it all out. Felt great next night.
You didn't sweat out anything.
I sweat it all out.
You broke a sweat.
I went out. You know what? I went out eating Mexican last night. Hell yes. Let me tell you something. When you haven't eaten in a day and a half, and you've eaten nothing but a can of Progresso vegetable soup and 6 quarts of Gatorade, you want Mexican. you don't want sushi. And
you might want barbecue too, right?
You might want. I got a barbecue taco. I swear to Christ.
See.
You want grease. You know what I'm saying?
And maybe
that's how Mexican food got started in Mexico, which is everyone was just hungover and wanted Mexican.
Maybe it's all those gastroenterologic pathogens, all that diarrhea and vomiting they get. They kept
maybe
wanting
it's like
something
Montezuma's Rent.
Yeah.
No, but Drew, explain. I don't know. Real quick, how does that work? Where you just
want calories. Your body wants to restore itself.
Hadn't eaten in a day and a half. I wanted grease. I wanted meat. I wanted